Consumer debt is at an all-time high here in the US. It is at the highest level in 16 years. Welcome to Wealth Up, a channel about personal finance and building wealth. For building wealth, it is important to keep your debt under control, and financially speaking, it is not always in your best interest to focus on paying off debt exclusively. This may be controversial, but let me explain. To be financially healthy, it is important to pay off your debt, of course, based on the specifics of your loan, interests, terms of loan, etc. It is also extremely important to save for retirement and to build an emergency fund. All three factors are important, and these are equally important. There are a lot of very popular influencers that prioritize these three buckets, and there is a lot of content created here on YouTube focused on paying off debt. No hate here for the people paying off debt. This will have a positive impact on your financial health. However, the best use of your money is often different than focusing solely on paying debt off. Let's start by talking about debt. If you have high interest debt, it should be your priority to pay this off. A common culprit here is credit card debt. The interest from credit cards are often 19% or higher. The interest you are paying is holding you down, and you should work to get rid of the debt as fast as possible. Some things to try if you are in this situation is to call up the credit card company and ask them to lower the interest rate. Explain your situation and ask them to lower the interest rate. The worst that can happen is that they say no. You can also consider doing a balance transfer to a card with a 0% interest offering. These offers are sometimes for a specific number of months. Depending on the interest rate you are paying and the amount of debt, this can be a significant savings. There is often a fee to do the balance transfer, but it is often worth it to pay the fee and save on interest. Do the math to calculate if you will save more in interest compared to the fee. Lastly, you should find ways to increase how fast you pay the debt off, either by earning more or cutting back on your spending. I know this is easier said than done, but you should do your best to pay it off as fast as possible because the debt is crippling your progress. For other debts, where the interest rate is 6% or lower, you should incorporate investing and saving for your emergency fund as part of your strategy. The 6% isn't an arbitrary number, but is coming from the fact that the market has returned on average 10% on your investments. When the return in the market is higher than the interest of your debt, your money is working harder for you in the market rather than paying debt off faster. This means that a dollar will earn you more in market gains compared to the interest you are paying. This is the metric to go by. If your interest is lower than the return from an investment, then don't rush to pay off the debt, rather invest. Let's look at an example. I bought a car in 2016 and took out a loan with an interest of 0.9%. Because the interest rate of the loan is only 0.9%, which in this case is lower than the 10% that the market has historically returned, and based on the metric I just shared, my money will be better used in the market compared to paying off the loan quickly with such a low interest rate. Let's see if the math agrees with what I just stated. My car payment is $430 per month. Let's say that from my budget, I have an extra $200 per month that I could either use to pay off the loan or invest. First, let's look at an auto loan calculator. You can see the specifics of the loan here. The car price was $25,000, the loan was for 60 months, and the interest rate was 0.9%. The total interest paid on this loan was $576. This means that the bank is letting me borrow $25,000 and only charging me $576. After it is all said and done, I would have paid a total of $25,576. The calculator will be linked below. Now let's see how this would change if I pay an extra $200 per month. I would finish paying the loan 1.6 years earlier, meaning that the loan time would be 3.4 years total. And I would have saved $185 in interest. That's right, I would have only saved $185 in interest. To complete this analysis, let's see where I would be after 5 years. The first 3.4 years would be dedicated to paying off the loan. I now have $630 to invest. This includes the payment of $430 plus the extra $200. And I will invest this for 1.6 years to bring this to a total of 5 years. This would be a total investment of $12,095 and interest of $919, bringing the total to over $13,000. In contrast, if I invest the $200 for the full 5 years, rather than paying off the loan, at an interest rate of 10%, I would have saved a total of only $12,000, and the interest would have been over $3,000, bringing the total to over $15,000. That's an additional $2,300 if I invest the $200 consistently over those 5 years, rather than paying the debt off faster. As you can see, the additional $200 would serve me better in the market. Several takeaways from this example. The interest rate must be low compared to the return on the market. Do a similar analysis for your situation. It is important that you actually invest the $200 per month. Many times people think to invest the extra $200, but never actually do this. In this case, pay off the debt faster. The money should be invested regularly for the math to actually work. After the 5 years, I would rather have a paid off car and have $15,000 invested compared to having the car and only $13,000. Who wouldn't? Many big-time financial content producers are anti-debt. Don't get me wrong, you should not go into debt to the point that it's overwhelming you and you are living paycheck to paycheck. However, debt, when used wisely, is a great way to leverage your money and have it work the hardest for you, especially these days with such low interest rates. As you can see, don't hold off to invest until debt is paid off. If the interest rate is low, it is often better to use your money to start investing now. Also, remember to build up your emergency fund along the way. An emergency fund will give you peace of mind and ensure that you are taken care of in case of an emergency. Remember, this is for educational purposes only. Do your own analysis. If you have found this video useful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to see upcoming videos. If you want to see regular content, you could add me on Instagram at wealth_up. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.